mostly before hackers hack into systems, their first preference is the OS needed for such an attack. Other hackers will prefer to use Windows. Yes, Windows. Other hackers can decide to use Windows to attack networks. Others prefer to use the Ubuntu OS. Others prefer to use Parrot OS. But I prefer to use the Kali Linux. So Kali Linux is an operating system for penetration testing and security auditing. Okay. In this text editor, we have a target IP address we are meant to compromise, which is the 77.121.50.24. So we copy the IP address. Terminal is where we are going to be doing the commands from. Let's increase the font. Before we start the attack, we'll first want to do the first two stages, which is the recon and then reconnaissance and the scanning. But here we are going to ignore the reconnaissance and focus on the scanning. With the scanning, we are going to use a tool which is by default in Kali Linux called Nmap. So we enter Nmap help. So with the help option, we can find out other syntax or arguments which can be taken by the Nmap tool. So what does the Nmap tool do? It's used for scanning open ports, service version, and a whole lot. You can also read more about it. You can also try to use the man nmap command, which will also give you a full description of what the tool does. So the nmap is the network exploration tool and security port scanner. You can get all the information you need when it comes to Nmap, and also how to use the Nmap tool. So let's just quit by pressing the Q. Okay. We enter our command nmap tag sv we go for the IP address. That's our target IP address. Target IP address. So here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to use the network tool to find the service and the version of our target IP address, SV. Up here we can find SV, which probe open ports to determine service or version information of our target. Okay, so let's hit enter and wait for our scan to complete. This is regarded as the scanning phase. So we wait patiently for the scan to complete. Never take those hacks on TV shows seriously, because it doesn't happen easily. It takes much time to watch an attack happen. In movies, they do make it look as if it's easy, but you have to exercise patience. So this is a real world attack we are doing with our Kali Linux. Our scan is done. We realize we have our port here, the state, service, version. So we realize port 53 is opened, port 135 filtered, port 139 filtered, port 445 filtered, port 543 filtered, port 5555 filtered. Oh, port 5555 opened. So here we do have 2 open ports and 4 filtered ports. So as an attacker, okay, we do have port 9000 also opened and port 9001 opened as well. So we do have 4 ports opened and 4 ports filtered. As an attacker, I'll be focusing on, I will personally like to focus on the open ports. Here I can see the version. The version here we have the DNS mask 2.51. We do have the Android bridge, Android debug bridge. Okay, so the port 5555 specifies open port for ADB, which stands for the Android debug bridge. So the Android debug bridge device. It also tells us the model, Manta 3D, port 9000 open, which is the SSL CS listener, and also port 9001 open, which is the Tor all ports. My main focus here will be on the Android debug bridge device. Okay. So as we can see, the Android debug bridge device has port 5555 opened. How do we manage to communicate with the device? We have a tool, we have a command tool, command line tool, which is the ADB, that can be used to create a communication channel between our side and also the Android device server. Okay. First of all, we enter apt install ADB. We try to install the tool. In some cases, here I'm running as root. In some cases, you might be running as a normal user. So you just sudo apt install ADB. Enter. So should work perfectly. I have it installed, so we can just go ahead and continue the attack. I go for my IP address, that's 77.121.50.24. Let me clear the screen so we can see it clearly. First of all, what we do is we try to use the tool, our ADB tool, to create a connection to our Android device. So we use the ADB connect, we specify the IP address along with the port, which is the port 5555. We enter and wait. So we get an output which says connected to our IP address and our port. That's good. The next step is to make sure that the device is actually connected. We have to verify. So we run the command adb device and tag L. Unknown command device. Okay. Okay. So the command is adb devices tag L. So in case you don't know the commands or the syntax, you can just increase the size. You can just adb help. So this should give you the help menu. This should give you the help menu. Okay. So you could probably spend time reading to familiarize yourself with the commands or the syntax. Okay. So as you can see, our device is connected over here. Okay, what do? First of all, we'll try to find information about our device battery. Why the device battery? Because every device actually has a battery in it. So it will just be nice to gather information about the battery before attempting anything else. Let me close this tab. What do? ADB tag S. Don't worry about the syntax. We'll go through that. Okay. Then we specify the shell. We dump system battery. So the command can be found. This command can be found in our menu, or you can also look it up on Google. Okay, we enter. As we can see, our current battery service state: AC powered true, USB powered false, wireless powered false. The status is 5, the health 2, present false, level 100, scale 100, voltage is 0, temperature 300. So the battery technology is live. Okay, let's try to see if we can gain a shell on this device. So we enter ADB tag S. We specify the IP and the port. Shell. Okay, good. So we do have our shell which says root at Android. Does that mean we are already root? So we ID UID root, GID root. So we are already root. Let's try to list the device, files on the device, or the file system on the device. As you can see, we have the ACCT, cache, config, D, data, and a whole lot. Okay, so we do have a shell on our device, so we can decide to do anything we want with the device. For test, let's just move to the root folder, or root directory, sorry. Root directory. Let's list and find out what's there. Okay, as we can see, there is nothing in here. Let's confirm to see if we can write something to a file in the root directory. So we echo and just testing. We echo just testing. Oh, it's frozen. What's wrong? Let's try it here. First one is frozen. Let's try it here. ADB. Let's devices list. Okay, it's connected. So ADB is we re-enter our command again, shell something is wrong. Something is wrong. Okay, let's disconnect. Let's disconnect. Disconnect, and let's try to connect again. That's we trying to reconnect. Okay. Okay. Let's close the first one. Let's try to see if we can gain a shell again. Okay, good. Maybe the internet was kind of unstable. So we do have our shell, Android shell. Okay. Let's try to write something into a file in the root folder or root directory, sorry. Okay, so we list and realize there's nothing on the root directory. So let's echo just for test, and then test.txt. Oh, internet is kind of unstable. Yeah, this really happens in real life. Doesn't look exactly like in movies. So let's retry it again. Let's retry it again. Let's reconnect. We've gotten a connection. Let's try to gain a shell. Okay, let's just try to write directly into the root folder or the root directory, sorry. Echo just for test root test.txt. Enter. Okay, so let's try to list what's in the roots directory. Okay, so it did create. Okay, let's try to cut roots test.txt. As you can see, so we're able to write something into a file called text.txt. This might not look scary, but what an attacker could do is try to download. An attacker could try to download a file from the target, that's the Android device, to his local machine or his attack machine. Okay, let's show that in real life. Let's exit. Okay, so we run the ADB adb tag s, we specify the IP and the port, IP and port. Then we try to run a shell. So what we are trying to do is we want to want to let's say want to screenshot the device or screen capture the device. Okay, so we run this, and then let's say we are trying to write to the root directory, and let's specify let's say s screenshot dot let's say png. Okay, so we run the adb command with the tag s and the IP address port. We want a shell to screenshot the device and then save it to the root directory as screenshot.png. Okay, let's gain shell and confirm if we had our screenshot. So we have the shell now, ls root. As you can see, we do have our screenshot in here. How do we verify that? Let's try to get the screenshots from our attack or our victim machine to our attack machine. How do we do that? We run the command adb tag s, we specify the IP and port. We specify the IP and port, and then we try to pull the request. We try to pull, we know it's in the roots directory, and save that screenshot. Save that screenshot. So we are pulling the screenshots, and then the next is to specify the location where we want to keep the screenshot on our machine or our attacker machine. So we want to keep it in the root directory as well. Desktop as screenshot.png. Enter and wait for it to download. Our download has started. So you try to exercise patience for the download to complete. Again, we are trying to download or pull our image, that's the screenshot.png, from the victim machine to our destination, which is the attacker machine at root desktop screenshot.png. Okay, So we have one file pulled, which is 611,545 bytes in 120 seconds. Okay, so let's view what we downloaded. That's the screenshot. Okay, as you can see, we had a screenshot. We were able to compromise the device. Okay, so this is how easy an attack could be done on a target. We were able to use the Nmap to find open ports. We realized port 555 was opened, which was the Android debug. That's the ADB. Android debug. That's the Android debug bridge here. Android debug bridge. We're able to use the Android debug bridge client to communicate with our Android device. Then we're able to check the battery status, also gain shell, as well as do a screen recording. After we did a screen recording, we're able to pull the file, that's the screen recorded file, from the victim machine to the target machine, that's our Kali Linux machine, and then we're able to view our screenshots. So knowing the right tools, you'll be able to compromise any device which is connected to the internet. Knowing the right devices to use at the right time is really important. So how can we protect ourselves against such an attack? It's always advisable to conduct security assessments to verify which ports are opened. If a port is not supposed to be opened or is not in use, you don't have to open it. You have to always make sure that only ports which are necessary should be open or exposed to the internet. It's always advisable to filter or close ports. Also conduct security assessments, that's vulnerability assessment, penetration testing regularly. It's always affordable than waiting to be hit and paying more. Thank you once again. In case you do have any question, feel free to get in touch with the BIC executives, or feel free to ask me on my social media accounts. I'll be glad to help out and also share more knowledge. Thank you once again. Bye.